Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video, it is going to be a build guide for Dagath on Steel Path. Now Dagath is honestly great for Steel Path, so let's get on into this config. Before we get into this config, I quickly want to go on over the shards. Now I strongly recommend a shard for casting speed, just to make her more viable in later levels and just make this more fun as Dagath. Now for my other two shards, I've got energy max and these are completely optional. The only shard I would 100% recommend is 1 or 2 casting speed shards. They don't need to be tile forged, but having extra casting speed is going to make her viable for higher level gameplay, which is definitely what you want. Now another disclaimer is you are going to need the Hemlin system for this one, and the ability we're going to need is Nourish from Grendel. Now that is obviously going to go over the first ability, because let's be honest, Nourish is better and the viral procs are bigger and everything else. So Nourish is what you're going to want to do, and you are going to need a few formers. So guys, let's get on into the actual config now. Okay, so guys, for the first mod we are going to rock Brief Respite, because let's be honest, Dagath is set up for this anyways. So the first mod is going to be Brief Respite. Now for the fourth ability, Rakali's Cavalry, as you can see here, we've got defense reduction. Now this build is going to be around making this actually properly armor strip, so this is what we're going to want to go with. So from here we're going to put Umbral Intensify on, we are going to put Blind Rage on, and as you can see here, our strength is 243, which makes this 85% damage reduction and a ton more damage. Now this is good enough for now, because we're going to finish that off in a minute. Now the next mod we're going to go with is going to be Prime Continuity for some extra duration, and we're also going to go with Prime Flow for energy. Now as you can see here, we already start off the mission with 345 energy, which is very promising, and which means whenever you spawn in, you can get straight into kicking with Dagath. Now for the next mod we are going to use Equilibrium. Now like I said, the reworks made Equilibrium a very viable option. Nourish and Equilibrium is basically a free arcane energize. Now onto the next mod, we do need to get our efficiency back, so we're going to use Streamlined up here, but we're also going to use Boreal's Hatred. Now Boreal's Hatred is going to give us a bit of extra shield and a little bit of extra efficiency, bringing us back up to 90. Now the only thing we are missing is a little bit of range, so we're just going to throw Stretch onto the config. And for the xAlisa slot, you can go 50-50 on what you want here. Now you could either use Power Drift for a little bit of extra power. With the defense reduction, it'll bring it up to 90, and you'll also get 30% resistance to knockdown. Or you could alternatively use Sure-Footed. Now Sure-Footed is just going to give you straight away 60% to resist knockdown, which is more ideal because we still haven't even put our arcanes on. Now for the arcanes, first of all, I am definitely going to recommend Arcane Energize. Now Energize is always going to be useful, but given that Nourish and Equilibrium is basically free Arcane Energize, you can replace this. So for the second arcane, we are going to go with Malt Augmented, just so that once you get the 60% power strength from this, you are going to get a 100% defense reduction from here. You're also going to get more damage on the Nourish, and the Grave Spirit is also strength based, so you're going to get way more critical damage from using Doom, and you just in general get significantly more damage the higher the strength is anyways. Now the Doom is also an ability which is gonna basically double your critical damage, which is insane, given that Doom is the second ability, which means you can infinitely spam it. It's going to be very effective. Now like I said, you could replace Arcane Energize, and the arcane I would replace that with is Arcane Rage. Now Arcane Rage with Dagath would just be a recipe for absolutely destroying everything. In the gameplay I'm going to use in Steel Path, I am going to have Arcane Energize present, just so that it is a little bit easier, just because generally I trust my weapons and they're good enough. So I'm going to put Arcane Energize back on, but if you don't have Energize, I definitely do recommend Arcane Rage. So guys, let's go on into Simulacrum and I will show you how you are going to play Dagath. Okay, so guys, we are now in the Simulacrum with Dagath. So let's spawn 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunner XMI, and I'm going to show you how to just absolutely destroy everything with Dagath. So number 1, you're going to want to go and activate her 3. So once you've activated her 3, you're going to want to activate that number 1 for Nourish. Then you're going to want to jump and activate the number 2 for the Doom. Now as long as you can see these markers on the enemies, that means you're good to go. So like I said, from here, literally all you're going to want to do is just use that 4th ability. And as you can see, it will armor strip. It will do all sorts, and it will take a second, but it will basically run through and kill every enemy. It is just a broken ability. Now, if you were to play this the other way, which is the second way that I recommend playing Dagath, you're going to want to just charge up an Incarnon weapon, and same story. You're going to want to activate your Nourish, and you're going to want to use your 2, and your 2 will give your 3, as long as your 3 is active, a massive critical damage buff, which just leads you to absolutely destroy all these enemies very, very fast, as you guys can see. So those are the 2 primary ways of playing Dagath, in my opinion. I personally prefer the first way. So I personally prefer having your 3 active, using your 2, and then just straight up hitting them with your 4. And then, oh, I've just pulled the horses the wrong way. But, you know, I personally prefer doing this just because it's more fun. And as you can see here, it takes care of higher level enemies with ease. So, guys, I'm going to run on into Steel Path, and I'm going to show you how Dagath fares in Steel Path. So guys, we are now in Steel Path with Dagath, as you guys can see. Now just in general, playing Dagath in Steel Path with this much power is going to make her 4th ability just absolutely destroy everything in general. So you already know that her 4th ability is capable as hell. But one thing I wanted to go over real quick is her 3rd ability. On top of it giving you a massive buff if you use the number 2 on top of it, when you do manage to die, it is a cheat death card. It is literally an instant free revive, but it has a 25-second cooldown, which is quite a while, but you should be good to go and basically have a second chance at life, and you should be going more than 25 seconds. If you don't last more than 25 seconds, I'm sorry to say, man, but you're nothing but a disappointment. But as you guys can see here, just the way that you play Dagath with this, with the Nourish and everything else like that, makes you never worry about energy. As you can see in the corner, my energy is absolutely kicking. I've just done a stupid down, but the energy kick is very, very substantial from Nourish, Energize, and Equilibrium, proving that you quite literally do not even need Arcane Energize anymore. So, you know, make do of that what you will. However, as you can see from this gameplay here, the kites, the horses are absolutely nutty. I absolutely love playing Dagath because these horses are so cool. Casting them is also a lot of fun. And one thing I wanted to go over real quick is when you cast the horses, as you can see like this, when I'm about to do right now, is when you cast the horses, you get a second of invulnerability. Now that, my friends, is absolutely pristine. It is a lifesaver for you. That is going to be what you use when you are in a spot of trouble. Moving on, I'm going to show you how Dagath handles just an absolute crap show of stuff on screen. So as you can see here, there's just a bunch of enemies, all this, that. I'm getting a ton of procs, but I'm using the horses to keep myself kicking. And as you can see, the horses are just doing tons of damage everywhere. We've got Corrupted Vor spawning in, and we also have the Acolyte spawning in. So from this over here, you guys can see that with the buff that you get from the 3, I've just absolutely destroyed the Acolyte, and then I'm using the horses to just clear the room as well. That just goes to show you how crazy Dagath is. And when you do see the green effect on the screen, like I said, you will know that that is going to be because I almost died. But just in general, Dagath can handle this. It is not a problem for Dagath in the slightest, and this goes to show that she is a very viable and very great frame for Steel Path. So guys, that has been this video on Dagath. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like, and a subscription would be greatly appreciated. I also have a Discord server and a Patreon link in the description if you want to check them out. Please feel free to. But other than that, if you want to see me break anything else in this game or push it into Steel Path, make a good config for it, please do leave it in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, hope you've enjoyed. Please do smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!